Sorry. Good morning once again and happy Sabbath, everyone. My part for today is to share the mission story. This mission story talks about Melanie, who came originally from Los Angeles. Melanie is living life of pleasure, drugs, alcohol, and parties. But one day, her brother died, the youngest and the closest to her. From there, she questioned God for what had happened to Randy. She started wondering about death itself, questioning the meaning of life. Since then, she became worse, making pleasures or run away to her pain. There comes her sister who is very interested in acting, invited her to take classes to divert herself from what had happened to Randy. She took it and began to act. There she met the Italian man and fell in love, then moved to Italy. Unfortunately, they broke up after 2.5 years and she returned to her party life. But she still felt empty when she's indulging her life into the world of pleasure. Then she got curious of everything. Who ruled the world and being and seeing much evil in the world, she then researched the occult. And then, one day, she stumbled across a YouTube sermon about Daniel and biblical prophecy. She was intrigued and opened her Bible to see if the presenter was speaking the truth. She researched the history of Babylon, Media Persia, Greece, and Roman Empire. Everything matched what she had heard in the sermon. This is all true, she said. She fell on her knees, weeping. She felt like she didn't belong in this world, but in another world. She gave her life to Jesus. I'm not fulfilled anymore with partying, drugs, and drinking, she prayed. I cannot live anymore like this. I'd rather die. You're going to have to change something about your life and me. I cannot take this anymore, she said. She continued watching the YouTube presenter, who she learned was the Seventh-day Adventist. She compared his sermons with the Bible. She read the Bible faithfully. She began to keep the seventh-day Sabbath at home. After 2 years, she felt impressed that she should worship in church on Sabbath. An online search found an Adventist church near her home. She went to church on Sabbath. She told the first person whom she saw there, an elderly man, that she wanted to be baptized. Hi, she said. I need to get baptized. The elderly man was surprised. What are you talking about? He said. She explained that she had been reading the Bible for 2 years and was following in teachings. I am ready to be baptized, she said. Life didn't change overnight for Melanie after her baptism. She still partied and tried to fit her life into her old one. But the things that she used to like to do became boring. The things that she once thought were boring became interesting. She was experiencing the process of sanctification. The Holy Spirit was growing inside her. He has a lot to do, but he's working on me, Melanie says. Today, Melanie knows that death is the result of sin. She knows that when people die, they sleep in the grave until Jesus' second coming. She says she has found the meaning of life. It is to share her love for Jesus and her hope in his soon return. In Daniel 12, verse 3 says, those who are wise shall shine like brightness of the firmament, and those who turn away to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. Melanie leads church tracts and health magazines on bus seats and restaurants in Rome. She places sharing cards about the church and Adventist radio in gyms. She is looking forward to seeing Jesus and being reunited with her youngest brother, Randy. My blessed hope is that I will see Randy again, she says. Thank you for your Sabbath School mission offering that helps spread the good news about Jesus who's returning in Italy and across the inter-European division, which will receive this Father's 13th Sabbath offering. Thank you. Happy Sabbath once again.
the basket down. And then with a smile, with a wondering of the deaconess says, she smiled and followed the child's request. And then she put down the basket. And then everyone were surprised because when they saw the boy that is about to step into the basket. And they said, why? Why you do that? Because I don't have money, but I have myself as an offering. Brothers and sisters, it's time to invest our lives to Jesus. It's time to invest our time, our talent, our treasures, and even our prayers. We might ask ourselves, how many times we worship? How many times I worship? Is it only in Saturday? How many times I pray? Is it only when I wake up in the morning? Before I sleep? When I eat? Or before I travel? Or we must ask, how many times I join in saving souls? There's so many questions in our minds. And how many times we study the words of God? Is this all enough to be sure that we invest ourselves? How many and what difference can I make to ourselves that I can able to make other people's life difference? So the pig once asked the cow, complained the cow, why people always talk about your generosity? You give them meat, you give them milk, you give them butter and milk and cream for their daily use. But that's nice, of course, said the cow, said the pig. But I give more than what you do. I give ham, I give bacon, I give even my skin. That's their favorite for la lechon. I give even my feet. When they cook for, what's that, KBL? You know what is KBL? Kadyos. I don't know you know what is kadyos. It's a black beans. When you boil it, it turns black. That's the water. Baboy and langka. So you call it KBL. But yet, nobody treat me as a useful. They make fun of me and they call me pig and I don't like it. He said, and then the cow, after a long time of visitation, the cow said, perhaps the difference. And then the cow said, is that what I give while I'm still alive? Is that all that I can give? We as a Christian, we can ask ourselves. We go to church. He said, you go to church. Okay. You return your tithes, you give your offering. You know, it makes me cry last night, and like I'm asking, is this all that I can do for God? Is this all that I can offer Him? Is this all that I have for Him? What more we can do? In Romans 12, verse 1, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. Brethren, now it's time to invest all that we have to Jesus. When we put our time...
How many of you know that your employer are Christian, Sunday church? How many of you know that your employers are Sunday church? Yeah, some of you, yeah. It's very challenging. Yeah, I'm not sure how much you have talked to your employer about religion, but my one guess is it will be very interesting. It will be interesting for him or for her to know that, oh, you're Adventist, yeah, you're Sunday church keeper. Yeah, why don't you, I'm not sure, if you have tried, you may want to share, that we can learn. We can learn that, people close to us, what kind of thinking that he has, and that will help your friends, and you will help us too. How? What kind of a mindset does your employer have, because you are so close to them, and that will be a good test, a good sharing. So I would encourage you, do something, and when there is opportunity, share with us. So this is employer who are Christians, Sunday keeper. Now how about they are Buddhists? You know that they are Buddhists, not atheists, but Buddhists.
Buddhist.
Please raise your hand. Do you know? Oh, okay. So you know that some of you know they are Buddhists. So for Buddhists, what can we do to these Buddhists? Because we say share the 3 angels message. I think you can do something. You can do something. I mentioned about the resources. The reason is maybe you can just drop one Chinese magazine if your employer is a Chinese. Just drop on the table. Sounds like you forgot. You just put it on the table. So let him have an opportunity to look at those things. And if he say, I don't like it, okay. If he doesn't like it or she doesn't like it, take it away. But if they inquire, then that's an opportunity for you to say something to reach them. Now there's another thing. How many of you in your workplace you have children? Not too many, but okay, but at least at least half. Here you have children's story. Usually, at the back there, each of these issues, we have children's story. Now, if the children in your workplace, somehow if they know how to read English, accidentally placed on the table. And so if they happen that they pick up and they read, why not? Okay? So make good use of those resources. This morning, we're going to talk about Sabbath. Because Sabbath, we talk about Sabbath, and now when we come to divine service, we're going to talk about Sabbath. And before we go into that story about Sabbath, I'm going to share with you a story right here. You see what? The bull that preached. The bull that preached. This is part 2. Part 1, I couldn't find the issue for part 1, but this is part 2. And so you have interesting, real story for kids, for children. I have schoolmates from